Since 2017, we have concentrated on finding solutions to some of the issues that are plaguing the professional development of enlisted forces. Our intent the whole time has been to gather the facts based on African needs to be able to go ahead and cater to the training they currently lack. We have been working with the Ministers of Defense, with the Chiefs of Defense, and their Forces Sergeants Major to be able to go ahead and provide sustainable solutions for them to retain training and also to export it to other African countries. So the purpose for this year is for them to bring out the solutions that they have generated over the last few gatherings we have had here in Germany, for them to be able to go ahead and present a model for other Africans to follow. So the first step we took in order to create this strategy was to fact find. Ask the Africans, what is it that you think you need in order to create a more professional and empowered force? We gathered those lessons learned. We brought it back to our strategy division in Headquarters United States Africa Command. We developed a plan to go ahead and fill those gaps for our African partners, and then we identified the countries that we were going to go ahead and kick this project off on. Clearly, we chose Liberia, Ghana, Malawi, and Botswana because of their effective governance, the way that they already have efforts in the development of NCOs, of non-commissioned officers, and also due to the fact that they were the ones that showed the most progress when it came to gathering the information from many African countries. Today, the execution is ongoing for the African Enlisted Development Strategy Tranche 1, which is those 4 countries I just mentioned. And now they're sharing their lessons learned with the other African countries that are represented here, 28 countries to be exact, with about 63 African partners in attendance, for them to be able to identify the next tranche of people that are going to participate next year. The Chiefs of Defense was an easy fix. The Africans asked for it, point blank. On the first conference, they said, it is great to hear from U.S. generals, but it will be most important to hear from African generals, because that's where the problem lies, where the officers are not willing to empower the non-commissioned officers. So we listened, and we asked some of our most trusted partners to be able to come here today, to be able to go ahead and impart why is it that they're choosing to empower non-commissioned officers in Africa. With regards to the women's peace and security, we have to capitalize in every segment of our demographics in order to seek the true talent of the force. The Africans are no different. Their females are going to be represented this afternoon, talking about the obstacles they have had to endure and the successes they recently had, as Sergeant Major Rose Calamisa, as she graduated the United States Army Sergeants Major Academy this past summer. So we want to make sure that we share those lessons with the group so that they can bring it back to their countries and start looking for ways to capitalize on that one segment of population that can provide great results for their military. The future of non-commissioned officer development in Africa, if I needed to go ahead and say something that is the desired end state, is their sustainability and ownership of it, with little to no United States or coalition help, to be able to go ahead and carry on training the future crop of NCOs. We know that Africa is experiencing a youth bulge, and we want to make sure that we do everything possible today to provide opportunities for that youth if they choose to serve. We're arming the sergeants major, warrant officers, their sailors, to be able to bring this message back to their countries to make sure that they create a better institution for the effective security of their country. The one thing that I would like to add is that we have been working hard on this concept now for 3 years, and it has taken every segment of our government to be able to realize this, from the development, diplomatic, and defense aspect. We have put a lot of effort into making sure that our Africans have all of the information and all of the help they need to be able to sustain their institutions. As we continue to travel around the continent, engaging with more chiefs of defense, presidents, and ministers of defense, I think it is imperative that we first and foremost bring the lessons learned from the Africans and not just the ideas of the United States. that is really what's going to resonate with them. That is why the Chief of Defense panel resonated with our partners, and that is the direction that we need to take as United States Africa Command.